After my video about why I'm not a Christian was out, I was actually surprised at the amount of Christians that were actually following my channel. And like I said, I welcome everyone as long as they're not aggressive and hostile towards me and everyone else. And for the most part, everyone was pretty much polite and friendly and stuff. Although there was this one guy who seemed to me like he was having a midlife crisis. And he was projecting a lot of anger towards me, calling me a DMT drug addict and how I'm never going to be swole, have a cool job, or get women to like me. And I told him he seems pretty angry for a Christian, like, aren't they supposed to be nice? And then he responded and said that he's getting angry because God gets angry in the Bible. It's pretty obvious to me that he didn't have the academic level to think rationally about these things, but it really confuses me about some of the more intelligent people that I've come across who seem to be okay with everything in the Bible. I'm trying to imagine the logic unfolding when coming to conclusions about the origins of the universe. Look at the stunning complexity of quantum mechanics, the symphonic balance of our ecosystem, the radiant beauty of endless galaxies. Must be the God of the Old Testament. Anyways, I want to get to the first time that I've ever lucid dreamed. And this was actually the only time that I've ever been able to do it. This was way back when I was 5 or 8, somewhere around that age. I don't really exactly remember. But how the dream went was I randomly showed up at what seemed to be an elementary school play. And I don't know how I got there, but I remember that I was all alone and it was nighttime and I was supposed to perform in front of a group of strangers. My fellow actors were even stranger because they were all what I described as being midget leprechauns dressed in green. So when we were performing, it was really bizarre because I was instructed to follow around one of the midget leprechauns in green that was running around a small prop oak tree that kind of looked like it was made out of paper mache, kind of. And I remember walking around and around this thing and following this leprechaun until I'm just thinking, what the hell am I doing here? Like, what's going on? The situation just seemed so bizarre, I started to question the reality of the situation I was actually in. And it seemed like for this one time, my brain screwed up in actually making a dream that was realistic enough that I would actually buy it. And then once this happened, everything pretty much collapsed and stopped moving, and I couldn't see the audience there anymore. It was just empty chairs, and there was no more leprechauns running around trees, and the parents or people that were running the show kind of reminded me of the parents in Peanuts from like Charlie Brown and everything, where they go like wah 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 and you can't really see them. That was what they were like, and that was pretty much everyone except for the leprechauns that I was looking at. But anyways, once I came to the realization that this was just so bizarre and not like my normal everyday experience, it just collapsed and I was all of a sudden able to control everything in the dream. I remember that I was zapping to different sceneries. Like, there was one scenery where I was on a farm and I started to fly. Just being able to think about flying, I was able to do it. I had the lucid abilities that I have in a wakeful state, but in the dream world. So it was like I was tripping, but I was just imagining anything, and I could think of what I wanted to see next and what kind of environment that I wanted to explore. It was like I was like some Dragon Ball Z character. If you've ever played those Counter-Strike mods of Dragon Ball Z, you know what I'm talking about. Like, I was one of those characters, and I was just able to fly around and have superpowers, and I don't know if I was able to like shoot beams or whatever. I can't remember. It was so long ago, but I was able to pretty much do whatever I could imagine. I remember at one point when I was flying, I was thinking about what if I doubt my ability to fly, and I remember falling down. And it's funny that when you stop believing that you're able to do it, that's when everything just crashes and burns. And that's kind of like when I was playing piano. If I overthink it, then my ability to do it just crumbles and I'm not able to perform at my best. So there's definitely this mental thing that I'm learning in my dreams with piano performance and things like that, because anytime you second guess yourself or psych yourself out, it just shows up in your performance, and then you're not able to do what you can normally do in a less intimidating circumstance. So that would be a big issue if I was trying to perform something like this. So if anyone has tips on how I can learn how to be able to lucid dream again, that would be cool, because I don't know exactly how I was able to do it. It was just a fluke for me. I think that if I can develop some sort of system where I can think of a dream element of some sort and be able to imagine it, and once I'm dreaming and able to see it in the actual dream, then I can just remember that and say, hey, I'm dreaming. That was a strategy I think that I remember hearing from someone, but I don't know if that works. Also, I smoke a little bit of too much weed, so I don't know if I'm going to be able to remember much of my dreams anyways, because at the moment I don't really remember much of my dreams. They have to be very traumatic and shaking to my psyche for me to be able to remember them. I'm sure that I'm still dreaming, I just don't remember any of them, just because I'm in, I guess, a really deep rapid eye movement state. So I'll be looking forward to your opinions on that.